Also the member of Research Council Standing Committee, Establishment Committee, Purchase Committee, and Examination Committee of ICAMT. Sir has published 2 patents also. In 2018, he was conferred with the IRDP Award for Teaching and Research Excellence for the outstanding excellence and remarkable achievements in the field of teaching, research, and publications. Sir is the member for the Center for Internal Quality Assurance Committee of Yashwantrao Chauhan Maharashtra Open University, Nasik, Maharashtra. Dr. Subramaniam has been offering a Swayam course titled Database and Content Organization since 2017, and also subject matter expert for 3 more MOOCs offered on Swayam. He has more than 23 years of research and teaching experience. Sir has 56 publications in international journals, proceedings of international, national conferences, and chapters in books. Currently, he is working in the area of cloud computing. He is presently guiding 3 research scholars pursuing PhD in computer science. He is lifetime member of ISTE, ICAMT, ACM, and Computer Society of India, CSI. He is reviewer and technical committee member for many national and international conferences. Dr. Subramaniam has visited Vietnam and Hong Kong, Macau for presenting papers in the international conferences. He is the member for several committees or task forces in IGNOU. Sir was the member for many school boards of IGNOU. He is technical committee member for many national and international conferences. Dr. Subramaniam is a keynote speaker for many conferences. Sir is the resource person and expert for many FDPs, webinars, training programs, seminars, and workshops. Sir was co-program instructor to EDRP project under the aegis of NMICT, MHRD, Government of India. Also, he has contributed to some e-modules for EPG Pathshala and MHRD initiative, Government of India. I welcome Sir to deliver his talk on transforming the business management with artificial intelligence. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. Respected Honorable Chairman Sunil Raisoni, and then Executive Director Shreyas Raisoni, Professor Amina Wali, Principal of the college, organizers, faculty members of the college, guests, fellow participants, panelists, a warm welcome and a very good morning. The topic that is given to me is transforming business and management using artificial intelligence. So with this introductory, I'll just start my presentation without wasting the time.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Has it appeared full screen, ma'am?
No, sir.
Has it appeared?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Transforming the business and management with artificial intelligence. This is the topic we'll be going through for the next few minutes. So I hope most of the participants here are from business background, like business management, and also from computer science background. So this is just an introductory thing that how nowadays the business and management functionalities are being transformed using the artificial intelligence technology. So here, artificial intelligence, as you know, it comprises a comprehensive collection of applications associated with the science and engineering of bright machines and computer programs. We already heard about the this particular AI is more extensive section of computer science associated with developing intelligent machines proficient in accomplishing tasks that need human intelligence. Here, the basic basis is the human intelligence. However, the applications that we design using the artificial intelligence nowadays, we can visualize in many of the hospitals, that is the healthcare, the office automation, as you can see in the smartphones. There are many wide variety of applications. The latest example which we can simply give is the Siri and the Google search engine. This is the simplest example that everybody is using nowadays. This particular AI is used in internet, traffic forecasting, GPS driven maps, and entertainment. During the delivery of this particular session, I had organized in a passion that first of all, I'll come to the business public commerce initiatives wherein which AI can be used. And in the next part of my discussion, I'll be covering the AI in management. So to start with, let us see the stats. So you can see the global artificial intelligence market size is expected to reach 169, like $169,411 million in 2025. So this is the way that this particular AI is booming up. So AI not only works with only one particular sector, as I told you, it is into many sectors. Like health, it is catering to health sector, it is catering to management, business, commerce, like in the smart cities. Likewise, it is into many of the sectors. And by 2030, you can see China will be the world leader in artificial intelligence technology with 26.1% of the global market share. So most probably India will be standing in the third or fourth position, as you can see, in the international market. So then 80% of the retail executives expect their retail companies to adopt AI-powered intelligent automation by 2027. Likewise, you can see there are several predictions over here. 71% of marketeers find AI could be useful for personalization. And then AI-powered voice assistants to reach 8 billion by 2023. If you can see our smartphones that we are using it today, they consist of various sensors. And then whatever the search engine that we are using, it is AI powered. The mail, the Gmail, that whatever we are using it today, it is also having, when you look into the trash and the spam, those are all learned machines wherein which it is automatically predicting the spam and it is throwing the from inbox to the spam, the messages which are related to the spam and the trash. So earlier we used to do it directly by manually deleting them and putting them into the spam. Currently, all those mails are being, the spam filters that we are using are obviously AI powered, and automatically the inbox mails that are pertaining to the trash or as the spams are automatically transferred to spam, and once in a week we are clearing them too, or else automatically if you set the timer, automatically that gets cleared. So by 2025, the global AI market is expected to be almost $60 billion. So that is how the market is growing apart. So one by one in each and every application, we are viewing the AI. So let us come to the business point of business perspective, wherein which AI can be used. So as AI, knowingly and unknowingly, most of the people, we are experiencing many of the things while we are connected to the e-commerce domain. So when we talk about the e-commerce, the main website that we strike in our mind is the Amazon website, or is the Flipkart website, or is the Snapdeal. So most of these websites are AI powered websites. So they run behind many AI tools wherein which our spending behavior is being captured, our choices are being captured, and as per the choices or as per the data or as per the choice that we are making in order to purchase certain things, mostly they give us the recommendations also. When we do go for certain things, obviously it provides you the recommendations, or else it tells you some more things which already people bought along with the item that you are going to select. There are various chatbots working background for the e-commerce websites, for the banking websites, for the financial institutions, for the tourist websites, whatnot. There are many chatbots working behind, and directly they are like responding just like a human being sitting on the other side. Software that automates content marketing, creating. There are several things which we'll be going to discuss one by one. If we come to the first one, that is the product recommendation system. So many of the websites, when we log into the e-commerce, many of the product websites, they give the, obviously the product recommendations. So AI is widely used in product recommendation systems. Most of them, they may not be knowing. However, when we mail something or else when we book certain things on the websites like Make My Trip and other kinds of things, obviously it gives you, suppose if you're going for a ticket booking from Delhi to Jaipur, obviously in the next course of time, the advertisements that appears on the right hand of the system are the hotel advertisements. So it is that too the hotels pertaining to the Jaipur. So that too, when you book the when you are going to book the ticket through airlines, it will obviously show you the 5-star kind of hotels that are there in the Jaipur for booking, ready for the bookings. Or else if you are going by train or something, some other service, obviously related to the level of the person spending, it obviously shows the kind of hotels that you are searching for. So there are systems that suggest products or information to users based on special data analysis methods. So come some sort of data analysis, there is used data which it is capturing, and due to that particular analysis of data using many methods, it is obviously giving you much of the things. So whether it be an e-commerce websites, on advertisements or emails, a product recommends aims to facilitate purchase decisions by helping customers find products that meet their needs. Obviously, the recommendation can derive from many factors such as customers' purchase history or the behavior of similar users. So all these things, all the data is being captured and is being used in a wonderful way in order to provide you the recommendation system on the e-commerce sites. So the popular AI software for product recommendations nowadays on the websites, they are using either Nostro, Recombi, Brilliance, Unbear, Unbxd, Tentoclo, VUE. So these are some of the popular AI softwares that they are putting onto their machines background so that such kind of achievements are being, like the product recommendation achievements are being taken care. So when you go to the benefits, there are many benefits. Obviously, whenever we see the recommendations or else the kind of rating that they are giving along with the recommendation, obviously the user will be interested in buying those products. It improves the outcomes and boost revenues, improve customer experience and encourage users to return to our website, and it stores browsing history and generate valuable data for further marketing campaigns, achieve higher visitor retention and greater sales. So from the business point of view, you can see there are wide many advantages whenever a kind of AI is being powered into the system, these particular recommendation systems. Coming to the chatbots, it is nothing but a simple software that imitate the human conversation. Most probably you had viewed many banking websites that to international bank, each and every international banking and financial institutions, they come up with the chatbot that too on the down right hand corner. So when you just log on to the page, it obviously a chatbot pops up by welcoming you that too with the, if you are a registered user, it will welcome you with your name itself and with the voice message. Welcome, Professor V.V. Subramanian. How can I help you? This particular thing, just like a human intervening or else human inviting you to that particular chat kind of conversation. So it obviously welcomes you. It gives you a kind of comfort and it gives you the wide variety of services that they are offering. By selecting the menu from the menu that it offers, obviously it interacts with the person just like a human, and then it gives you the answers to the queries also. So it's an AI powered digital assistant wherein which lot of machine learning has been done, and whatever the queries that are being given by earlier users, obviously the whole chatbot was trained onto the train, and then using this artificial intelligence, whatever the query that we are going to place, obviously it gives the reply to the queries. So some of the famous chatbots are PopGeo. You view this particular PopGeo on National Geographic chatbot. Like Snap Travel, you can see a wonderful chatbot. Wall Street Journal, these are all famous chatbots wherein which I have placed on the presentation. So you can go, you can view the kind of experience that they are providing to the users. It is just like a human intervention and clearing the queries of the users. Suppose if at all the chatbot is unable to solve a new query, obviously the call is being transferred to the human or else the customer care executive, and obviously they will handle the customer in a better way. So the major benefits of chatbots are 24-hour service. There is no person sitting over there. However, the whole chatbot will be tackling the user, and then it will be providing you the responses. Instant responses to queries and then answers to simple questions. So you can see the achievement mostly whenever the training is improved. Obviously, it works very much fine and it may achieve at least 80 to 85% of the required outputs. A chatbot is available anytime. That is the major advantage. Whenever you open the website, obviously it pops up and it works anytime for customers and instantly respond to their inquiries. And it obviously, whenever the whole charting data, the AI will analyze the charts and thus generate highly targeted offers for the customer. A chatbot showcases your new products and services. It brings in the business. That too. Sometimes whenever we have the customer care, human intervention of the customer care, obviously sometimes we get engaged. Like somebody will be talking and then we may be getting a message called as engaged, and we will be putting up the phone. And most probably we may not be turning up to that particular website. When we turn up these particular chatbots onto the business websites, obviously there are great benefits what we are saying on to this particular slide. So these are the popular chatbot software wherein which most of the companies, that to business, management, and financial institutions are using on their websites. Live person is one thing, bot, Botsify is one thing, Reply.ai, AView, and then Boost, ManyChat. These are some of the chatbots, but many of the business institutions, these may be open source software, or else it will comes up with some certain price. However, when we invest a little amount of money into this particular software, chatbot software kind of thing, obviously the business will always improve. So that particular thing, obviously the return of investment, whatever that we do in order to purchase this software, obviously stands very minimal when compared with the kind of business that it attracts. The other kind of application that we are using is the content marketing strategy. So here also the AI is helping the content marketing strategy. It is an unimaginable number of consumers are looking online for products and services every second. And you need to position your business in front of them. How? With powerful content marketing strategy, it is possible. So it is nothing but there is a huge content on your, maybe on your website, maybe into the blogs, social media posts, podcasts, videos, infographics, white paper pertaining to that particular company. So there is huge lot of content, but how to market? So there comes the content marketing strategy, wherein which if you adopt the artificial intelligence in content marketing, it obviously your business will grow exponentially. So how this works? Artificial intelligence uses the algorithms to analyze the data that is there in your blogs, in the social media posts, podcasts, videos. So this AI programs will be working on those particular content, and then it will analyze your existing data and create the best strategies to market the content. For example, if the analysis shows one type of content is more popular than another, you can pick the right solution for you. And then AI helps you to decide what to write about, which keywords to use, how often to publish. So these are some of the content marketing strategy once you get the right data from the right place. That too, which is available with you in the form of blogs, social media posts, podcasts, videos, whatnot. So this is the kind of thing wherein which we can use the AI. So this is nothing but when we use the content marketing strategy, obviously it will produce and deliver content fast. That too from the exist content, which to put, what kind of keywords need to put, what kind of metadata can be used in order to attract the customers, or else when in order to provide the search engine optimization. So these kinds of things can be obviously done using the things. So you can see there are several benefits for the content marketing. So these are some of the tools people are using on their websites, or else from the company point of view. Market News is there, Bright Edge, Vanly, Acrolinks, Concord, Lucy. So these are some of the tools that are available under the content marketing strategy. So next comes the very, very important thing called as the sentimental analysis to gauge the customer's emotions. So this is a wonderful thing wherein which the sentimental analysis is nothing but it is an automated process for monitoring and analyzing people's emotions and opinions in different types of text. So the text can be conversations taking place on blogs, social media, comments of products or services, whatever the case may be. So using this sentiment analysis, businesses detect the opinions expressed by the customers and measure feedback placed in millions of web pages, reviews, and forums. So these particular sentiment analysis programs will be running behind whenever you activate the web page or reviews or forums. And then I'll give you a very simple example over here. TripAdvisor applies sentiment analysis to make the most out of the huge amount of data it has. It allows the company to extract viable points regarding customer feedback. You can see they are counting the sentiments, they are counting the emotions, or else they're collecting the kind of feedback given by the customers. So TripAdvisor can understand what the target audience feel, detect emerging trends, find hidden opportunities, and see what can be improved. So this contributes to further improvement of the service by providing customers with what they need. So this is the actually the capture of the business that they wish to have in the future. So they are capturing the feedback, they are capturing the emerging trends, they are capturing the hidden opportunities, and they are floating accordingly to the customer's customization or personalization way. So this is how the things are happening using the sentiment. There are wide variety of benefits you can watch over here. It will boost your customer service. It will understand your customers and gain insights to improve products. It will track the brand perception by the customers, respond to the customers at scale. So there are some various tools available in the market. Monkey Learn is there. Clara Bridge Speech is there. That too an analytics software. IBM software is there. Watson Tone Analyzer. Lexaltics is there. Rosati is there. So there are several kind of sentiment analysis tools. So these particular people, like business people, they are using the sentiment analysis tools embedded in some way or other forms into their websites and other kinds of platforms, so that they are capturing the emotions and the sentiments of the customers. So next comes the competitive intelligence. So competitive intelligence is nothing but it is a kind of process of collecting and analyzing information about your current and potential competitors, industry, and business environment. So whenever you know the competitive edge with which other competitor has, so that when you capture that kind of intelligence, obviously you can compete with the other company. These particular things obviously will be done mostly in the automobile market. So when you have a fresh launch of one vehicle at the SUV segment, obviously the competitor will target at the same point of time within some 2 to 3 months. So this is nothing but how they are getting these kinds of intelligence. They are using some sort of artificial intelligence in order to gather the kind of things that the other competitor is using. So they are collecting continuously the information that is published in the magazines, that is published in the newspapers, or that is published in the automobile magazine, and some sort of things. They are getting the things analyzed, and how how they are going into the market with the new products. So that particular thing they are capturing, and the parent company is also likely to introduce same kind of products in order to compete with that particular market. So this is how the competitive intelligence works with the AI powered. So for example, I'll give a simple example. The leading companies use competitive intelligence as their business growth strategy and cleverly harness the benefits of someone else's successes or failures. For example, Google carefully pays attention to the mistakes in Yahoo's user interface. So this is nothing but it is using a kind of competitive intelligence factor, so that it is the user interface that the Google has. You can see the clear cut, very fine Google interface. When a search engine, it will consist of only one text box. It just takes the simple pattern. But when you go into the advanced kind of thing, or the voice based thing, obviously how it is having that particular competitor, it goes by reading into the into the other user interfaces of other search engines like Bing, Yahoo, and other kinds of things. So I give you another example here. Uber exploited the public enthusiasm for Lyft. Lyft is the competitor for Uber. So Apple also, you can see Apple phones. Apple redefined the complete mobile market. Once upon a time, Motorola was pioneering the mobile industry. So when you talk about the Apple, you can obviously brand it as the finest quality mobile that is available in the market. So how they are going? They are using the competitive intelligence, and then they're capturing the market. Okay. So when you go through these particular tools, these are the benefits you can watch always. So when you go to the tools, there are certain tools available in the market readily. One can try this particular. Crayon is there. Presync is there, CI radar. So these are some of the tools comes under the competitive intelligence tool strategies. So the other thing wherein which the AI is powering is the sales forecasting. For every business, this is the prime thing that will be leading. So sales forecasting is the process of predicting and estimating future sales. It is a vital factor for defining long-term business growth. Mostly forecasting is the one which leads to the business growth. So once you forecast on which item I have to invest, which kind of product, whenever it comes to the market, it prevails for so long time. So all these things can be predicted by using the AI-based software. So for that, CRM data needs to be there. Purchase history is the main feed into the sales forecasting, and data about past delays. So all these data, once you have onto your place and given to the AI program, obviously you will get the predictions for the next forecast. So there are certain benefits for the sales forecasting. Uh, so these are some of the benefits. It will have a better understanding of the buyer's journey, spot potential problems. Likewise, you can see here there are several benefits over here. And coming to the tools that are there available in the market, one is the Salesforce Einstein AI is there, Clary, 12 Zeros, Aviso, and then Zoho CR, Interloop. These are some of the popular sales for forecasting tools powered by artificial intelligence. Earlier, there were certain tools, but here, whatever the tools that I am forecasting are the tools which are being powered with artificial intelligence. So the next thing that we can discuss here is the price optimization. So sometimes this particular price optimization, a simple thing is when you come across this airlines industry. So when you come across this airline industry, obviously there won't be any standard price. So the price always fluctuates. That too in the airlines which are like just like SpiceJet and other kinds of things which are catering to the middle class like passengers. So these particular thing target uh, the the price optimization when it comes to the other airlines in the same segment. So obviously the price that they offer, the tickets, that too during the season, that too during the peak time, that too during the early hours, obviously the price optimization, the price is the key factor that makes customers buy from companies, especially from the retailers. So once the price has been optimized in this competitive world with the same kind of segment or product placed in the same way, whenever the price is somewhere comparatively low, obviously uh, the people attracts towards that particular company's product and buys with it. There are many factors influence your price. Maybe the price history is one thing, brand reputation, competition, quality, season, operating costs, demand, and other kinds of things. This particular price optimization, whenever we talk, it doesn't comes with only one particular tool. Obviously, I had told you the competitive intelligence that also will be combined, and you'll be giving you the kind of competitive intelligence as well as the price optimization kind of thing, and it will give you the exact price wherein which you can pitch for the during the peak season and other kinds of things. So when you come to the tools, there are certain tools, perfect price intelligence node, and then wise Athena, then Praxis. There are several tools comes, and these particular tools I told you, once you buy an enterprise version, it will not only comes only with the price optimization, obviously it will be mingled with the intelligence factor also, so that these particular other kinds of things also can be achieved. So the next thing is the smart cyber security. There is huge data flowing from one place to another place. However, there are hackers, there are fraudsters, there are many people who are doing several kinds of theft or else involved in several kinds of cyber crimes. So many credit card companies are relying on AI for helping financial institutions prevent billions of dollars in fraud annually. So when you use these particular smart cybersecurity tools along with your commerce websites or else financial institution website or any kind of website, obviously you can avoid such kind of cyber crimes. So this AI software can deal with the vulnerability management, phishing detection, network security, behavioral analytics, prevention control, and several sort of such kind of things can be obviously avoided. So it can detect abnormal behavior before it causes the damage, faster and accurate make decision regarding threats, prevent wasting time researching false alerts, improve company credentials. So once you are, why we have that particular confidence on Amazon? So maybe it is having running behind several cybersecurity tools. Obviously, I don't think it is 100% the site is secure. However, the kind of billions of dollars business that it handle in a day. Obviously, when we compare that particular heavy use amount of business that they are doing during the day, when it comes to the cyber crime, obviously the rate is very low, we can say. So it is obviously it is improving day by day. The kind of smart tools that are appearing in the market, they are doing these kinds of they are embedding these kinds of tools into their web pages and other kinds of things and doing the business. There are certain popular AI software meant for cybersecurity, that to smart cybersecurity. Dark Race is there, Tessin is there, Falcon platform, Blue Vector, Deep Instinct, Haldos. There are several kinds of things wherein which they are using. So one of the notable example I'll give you that too from the Google. So Google always builds and maintains an extremely strong cybersecurity culture. You can see the Google Mail, Gmail, which has AI and machine learning techniques to filter and secure emails for years together. We were using it from past several years. Google always builds and maintains extremely strong cyber security culture, and then millions of people use Google's Gmail daily. AI catches unauthorized logins and monitors various aspects of behavior throughout a user session. Even you can see whenever a Google event from a different machine is being logged in, it obviously sends you an email or else alerts you through a message that on a different account, on a different machine altogether. It may be a mobile, it may be a tab, or it may be whatever the device that you are using. Obviously, a mail is popped up so that it alerts you that on a different device you are being logged in. Whether you are doing it or whether some kind of fraudster is trying to log in. This always alerts you. So these kinds of, because of this AI only, this is happening on Gmail. So next comes the AI powered in-store experience. This is nothing but it has the power to entirely transform the traditional in-store experience and take it to the next level with a personalization and that delights the customers. So example I can give you, the Lowe's has the Low bot to help customers find their way around the store. Lowe bots in the store ask customers simple questions to discover what they need. So here in this particular thing, I am not talking about the e-commerce, but I am talking about the physical store. The robot provides directions to the products and shares knowledge with the customers. So in-house, there are certain robots placed and they will be assisting the humans whenever they wish to have some sort of buying some products of their company. So another example is the Sephora. In a Sephora store, you can find makeup shade that suits you the best without putting everything onto your face. So Color IQ scans a customer's face and provides personalized recommendations for right from the foundation to other makeup devices, makeup kits. So this is how they are providing a kind of in-store experience by providing some sort of robots roaming around. So there are certain things called as the Pepper Robot, Lowe Robot, or Lowe Bot, Promo Bot, and then Brain Corps robots. There are several kinds of AI-powered solutions available for in-house experience also. So this is one thing, saving time and reduce costs. I don't go much about it. it has its own thing. Once the cost reduction is there, then I'll wind up within 2 to 3 minutes. Till now we had seen AI in business, and I'll focus on AI in management. When we talk about the enterprise management, when we talk about the management, there are several functionalities which needs to be covered. Sales, enterprise management, R&D, there are finance, whatnot. There are several things which take care of various functions. So when you introduce the AI into these particular managerial functions, it will wonderfully work. And obviously the business will be transformed into a kind of fruitful or profitable business. So in the manufacturing, businesses use AI in broader perspective for their operations, including equipment maintenance, production, and supply management. These are the areas in which right now AI is being introduced. So different AI types like IoT sensors are in place, robots are roaming around, and then robot automation is going on. So including this supply chain management, production, equipment maintenance, in all of these three areas, currently AI is having its solutions. One can go through that particular solutions and adapt to their businesses. And then when you talk about the territory service management, AI is being used to handle the service calls and other kinds of things. Financial management, obviously, there are several tools which you can implement in order to go through the financial, like the budgeting, the forecasts, and other kinds of things. There is huge data available. Once you introduce the AI programs, obviously those particular data will be analyzed and forecast will be given. So coming to the customer support, we had seen some of the things using the chatbots and other kinds of things. So customer support, we can use the AI here. Failures and fraud management, obviously we had seen. And then administrative management. So most of the managers spend their time managing administrative controls and coordinating the tasks. But once you introduce the AI solutions over here, obviously the complete things can be automated, and actually the managers who are supposed to spend time on different tasks, different managing tasks, obviously they can put that particular mind onto the managing administrative controls. Obviously the other things can be controlled using the tools those are available. Intelligent machines are there, wherein which using some sort of sensors or IoT devices, most of the things can be achieved using this intelligent machines. Automated intelligent machines can add automatic work, helps in decision support and database simulations for exploring the activities. So enhancing the social and networking skills, this is the main part. So it is essential to value the deep social skills to create networking, training, and collaborating with these skills to help them to stand out in the industry. So there are certain AI tools assist in using digital technology to gain the knowledge and judgment of partners, customers, communities, to bring out extensive perspective, insights, and experiences. So I had given some sort of statistics over here. It will run to 2 to 3 slides. You can once again go through. I'll leave the presentation with you. Obviously, I'll forward it to the organizers. So from McKinsey, I had collected some sort of, when you adopt AI within the product or service development or service operations, you can see here, the product service development has improved a lot, service operations, marketing and sales, manufacturing, human resources. So I am not talking in generic. However, I am talking whenever the AI is adopted, these kinds of improvements has happened to various industries. And this also during the COVID crisis, many of them, they had gone for the AI tools, implementation of AI tools. And then by industry, you can see healthcare industry, I had given automotive industry, financial services, consumer and packaged industry, business, legal, professional services, and then telecom. Telecom is having high-end services, and then medical healthcare is having high-end services, finance is having high-end services. So coming to the conclusion part, we had seen in this particular session, we had seen many applications from the business point of perspective, from the management point of perspective, and then AI technology, it is bringing, it is a kind of revolution that brings possible opportunities for success of your business and management. It is essential to apply. It is essential to apply and use AI tools in the right direction, that too with ethical alignment. So with this, I hope I had covered the theme. I wish you all the best. And if there are any kind of questions, I can take within 2 to 3 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there are some questions. First question is from Ashlesha Bokre. What limits has AI for marketing?
She's talking about the marketing limitations or
AI limitation for marketing.
so AI is having more advantages than when we compared with the limitations. We had gone through several kind of applications that are being there while we talk about the marketing, the sales, the forecasting, and other kinds of things. However, coming to the limitations, the human intervention, that is what my main thing is there. When we market, we can see I had shared with you one application called as the chatbot application. So instead of a human getting on to the talk with the person sitting in front of the screen, however, the whole thing is being handled by a bot. So whatever the product that it wish to offer, and it is a kind of better presentation also. Here we can say, suppose if a human, if it is he or she is having some sort of poor communication skills, he may not attract. He might not do that kind of marketing that the bot is doing. So it has its own limitations. However, the non-trained queries, suppose if a query which is not been trained, if it faces such kind of queries, obviously it will handle to the human to give the response. Once it is trained, obviously in the later on stages, obviously it will handle such kind of queries also. Hope I had given you the answer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So it was very nice and informative session. As a lecturer, I have learned a new dimension of AI, sir, and looking forward for more interactive session from you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, I want to welcome our principal, ma'am, Amina Wali.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you so much for sparing time for this. And it was a very extensive and clear explanation that you've given. Opened up a lot of new ideas for us also. So hoping like we'd be able to organize more sessions with you.
Sure, ma'am. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Coming to the, just I wish to share half a minute. So people may be thinking that where to learn all these techniques. So that is the primary question behind their brains. So I tell them, go for MOOCs. Go for MOOCs. SWAYAM is one such platform wherein which Government of India is providing us. Right from elementary AI course till the advanced AI course, there are several courses available on SWAYAM. Just go Google on the swayam.gov.in. There are various courses offered by IIT people from our university, from other universities. There are various faculty offering wonderful courses. So people can opt for them. They can study free of cost. Whenever there is time, they can study, and then they can gain the knowledge and work with the solutions, whatever the solution that they are interested for using the AI. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I hand over for the second session. That is, I hand over the session to Ms. Purnima Rai.
Can I sign off, ma'am?
Yes, sir. You can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Anandita Kundu, ma'am. It was a wonderful session. Very good afternoon to you all. For the next session, I would like to welcome Mr. Abbas Ali, who will speak on jobs of tomorrow. How should a student prepare for future jobs? We are so fortunate today to interact with him. Mr. Ali is an alumnus of one of the most prestigious business schools across the globe, Harvard, and has also trained himself through numerous executive courses from the Indian School of Business. Starting as an independent consultant, he has worked through his way to become a senior vice president of TASC Outsourcing UAE. He has a wide range of expertise in advising business strategies, global expansion, and profitability. His teams are responsible for client engagement, retention, brand building, and hiring. Now, I would like to invite Abbas Ali sir for expert talk.
Hi, Purnima. Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So you got the control of my slides. Is that correct?
No, sir, you are presenter now. You can share your slides.
Oh, okay. Then I will have to. Do you have my slides? Do you mind putting it up?
Yes, sir. Okay.
If you can, please. Just
Anandita ma'am, please make me presenter.
so thank you very much.
Just a minute.
While you are getting all that going, welcome to all the I think student community and the panel members for listening. I'm sure the earlier session was amazing, and you got some great insights from the professor on variety of, which is really on the ground, technical, and something the students can take and implement, and then of course help them to be technologically savvy and better. Um, what I would like to take time is to maybe see how some of these things help you get a better job or maybe start a great career. So I think the interesting part is we all as a student community and everybody else would love to get a great career start. I don't think anybody who's studying is saying that I don't want a great career start. I have some great fond memories of visiting various colleges and campuses in Nagpur when I used to work for a firm in Hyderabad. And we used to do campus hiring from various colleges in and around India. And we used to visit Nagpur as well to hire. In fact, my wife studied in Ramtech as an architecture from Nagpur. In fact, her schooling is, so there's a strong connection there. And I thank you, Madam Amina, Anindita, Purnima, for inviting me to speak to your student community. I love talking to students because that's where I get the energy from. So I'm gonna not take more than 20 minutes and try to be really on sharp on time. So I represent a company called Talent Asset Software and Consulting, which is called Task Outsourcing. We are one of the largest employer for white collar staff in the Middle East. We employ close to about 6,000 people. They work for large corporates like McKinsey, PwC, and variety of other large organizations across the Middle East and GCC largely. By virtue of doing that, I have had the privilege of interviewing maybe close to 50,000 people, placed more than 20,000 people across various organizations during my career. And I think by virtue of that, I'm going to present to you. I don't have that many slides. I got only 4 slides for you. And how I would like to go about is that what should you focus on to get your first job? What skills would you need for the future? And what technologies will have a better chances of a good job? And then maybe spend a little bit of a time on how somebody can look at if you want an international career. I'm born in MP. I did my schooling in a very small town called Shajapur, which I don't think a lot of people know, next to Indore. I moved to Hyderabad, worked there. Then I moved to Dubai. I think having an international career has been fabulous from many perspectives. So let me take you to the next slide, ma'am, which is the first slide. What should you focus on to get your first job? I think I know that the technology savvy students are. I think everybody is fantastic on their Insta. Everybody loves a TikTok. Everybody using a Snapchat. But from a as an employer and if an interviewer, I think having your personal social media and creating a strong digital presence uh, is extremely critical. And once you're out in the job market, I think not letting it think that only, I think having a professional looking digital presence is extremely critical. So it's not just a social, which is your Facebook and the world. So do spend some time. I think as an employer today, don't only look at your CV, I look at your digital presence as well. So the things you should do, like and share some great articles from the professors or the magazines you read. Try to build your brand. You all as an individuals are a brand as well. Are you constantly, while you have your fun and social side on some platform, try to build your profile on LinkedIn, try to build your profile reading and writing or commenting on some intelligent things you read. And of course, goes without saying, answer frequently asked interview questions. I would give this offer to Purnima and Amina whenever you want your students to have a session on some interviewing techniques, very happy to do that as well. But I think very often students go prepared thinking only very simple, tell me something about myself, strength and weakness. I think talk about your passion, get to know about what could be your technology questions. So if you're a fresher, what would I ask? If you don't have enough experience, I want to know about your subjects. I want to know your basics. One of my favorite questions whenever I interview a commerce graduate, I ask them the 3 golden rules of accounting. And you'd be surprised, 70% of the interviewee fail the basic response to a basic question which every commerce graduate should know. So it's very interesting. In engineer, you ask a Newton's law, and then a lot of people just forget. Or just what is quantum physics? Just very basic. So think that if you are coming as a student, people write about their projects. So if you're writing about your projects, and then you ask them a little deep about, okay, what was your project, and they fail miserably. So whatever you write, be ready to answer. Learn a new skill. Today, the millennials, the advantage, I just heard the professor towards the last point he made about self-learning. Google, there are plenty of courses. LinkedIn Talent Academy. Today, if you want to learn, I think there is so much content available. So what is your new skill you've learned yourself? How do I know as an employer that you are interested in learning and developing yourself? Because as you can see how the world is evolving, what used to be good and what used to be normal. So I have a laptop, I have a desktop screen, and now I'm speaking to you from an iPad. Totally different movement of world which is happening, right? And it's happening at the speed of light. So are you upgrading? Volunteer for a cause you believe in. Are you do you go teach in the slums? Do you work with the Red Cross Society? Are you a volunteer in COVID vaccination? Anything. What is the cause you believe in? Because the millennials, I believe, which you all are not interested in only doing working for somebody who is there to make money. I think you all believe in a cause, but do you demonstrate that in your actions? Take care of yourself. I think very important that you take care of yourself. Are you a lot of time people come and I talk to them and I ask them, do you exercise? Do you meditate? What do you do to look after yourself? Do you read? I remember one of my professors said, what is the exercise to the body is book to the brain. Are you so focus on, so get your first job, and these are the very, very basic fundamentals. Like I'm talking about if you're IT graduate, I'm talking about your C++ and Unix. I'm talking about very basics on, or the DOS or the Fox Pro, where you can start from. If you go to the next slide, man. Yeah. So now this is very interesting, right? What skills would you need in the future, right? Where is the world moving, right? And some of this you would cover in your college, and some of this you must know and learn, right? So IT software and service sectors dominates the hiring in India, right? The tech market will continue to stay hot for at least 2 years. Over my 20 years of career, I have only seen twice that the technology market has been low. So they will, and when I say tech market doesn't only mean the job for techies. Within tech market, there is a whole ecosystem of job, from the HR to admin to support to marketing to everything else which you stay in part of. Education industry is booming. Banking, financial services, telecom, insurance, healthcare. These are all the good sectors which would continue to have a very bright future for the years to come. You talked, I think the professor got me a very good segue into the automation, artificial intelligence, which you all be. I think growth mindset is extremely important. So when I'm interviewing future, are you looking? What's your growth? Very interestingly, when I interview a marketing person, I would say, okay, what's your best marketing advertisement you have seen? Who do you inspired by? And so people say, "Oh, I love Apple. Oh, I love Coca-Cola." Okay, which ad of Coca-Cola do you really enjoy? Nothing in particular. So, do you understand that the mindset? So, digital literacy extremely critical. Analytical thinking. So, when one of the examples I give people is that if you ask today, okay, can you tell me about a data? I think people are not interested in data; they're interested in analysis of the data. Complex problem solving. I think a lot of you learn through that. Creativity, and when I say creative intelligence or cognitive diversity is extremely important. Social and leadership influence skills. One of the very famous saying is that you don't need to be a manager to be a leader. I was in your class in colleges sometime, you always have few friends who end up becoming either a class captain or a basketball team captain very quickly. They rise through the bar, they become the scout captain. Some people become very quickly the leader on the stage, dance competition. These are natural leadership and social influence capability. Because today you could be technically very brilliant, but you should be also able to influence your stakeholders, i.e. your manager, your customer, your people. So having a good technology use in monitoring and control is not enough. It should be something else as well. Reasoning and problem solving, proactiveness. What does proactiveness means is that today, are you being just reactive? Are you waiting for somebody to tell you what to do? Or you are now, how do you demonstrate that? If you're meeting an employer, how do you demonstrate you're proactive? In my belief, you demonstrate proactiveness by way of your preparation. Have you prepared yourself before? Do you know about the company? When you're doing the interview or when you're speaking to somebody, would you know that what kind of company? I would like to know, what do you think about your future? I hate the silly answers. I would like, in 5 years, I would like to be a manager. I think the world has gone above the titles. It's not about the titles. It's about where is your trajectory. So do you want to, what is that you inspire and what influence you want to create into the society? So that proactiveness initiative is what will be the skills you would need for the future. The organizations are becoming, because if you look at the world post-COVID, is very likely that a lot of you might not even work in the office full time or go to the office as and when you feel like. The work has become remote. So discipline of an individual, that do you need a military regimented control, or you are a self-disciplined person? What it means is that you're going to get a task in projects. You're not going to get timelines. Nobody's going to care that you work 7 days a week. People are going to care that you got a task which had a 40-hour task, and then did you finish that task on time? Your ability to initiative and discipline yourself. So if you're today in the colleges, and how do you manage your time? How do you able to think through your projects and timelines and submission is going to be the skill you would adapt when you're going to move into project-based assignment of the future. So that's going to be extremely, extremely critical for all of you. So I would, if you were to pick something from this slide, is for the skill of future is be digitally savvy, build up an analytical skill. There's tons of courses online available on analytical thinking. Be creative, be proactive, show discipline of your execution, and the think through design thinking. I think design thinking, how do you, if you think I want to be somewhere, or when you speak, say, I would like this to be, what's the design behind it? Have you thought of a design? Have you thought of, these are the 5 steps must happen for me to reach there? If somebody told you that, okay, you want to go from Nagpur to Delhi, what are the various ways of doing it, right? So same thing as a design thinking. You could take a bus, you could take a train, you could drive, you could run, you could cycle. Can you take a boat? What are the options? And then how does it fit into the design in the most efficient way of doing it in the sources you have? I think that's going to be extremely critical. If you go next, ma'am, please. So the technologies will have a better chance of a good job. Now, which are the technologies which will have a better chance? Sorry, of a good job. You will have this slides, and when we did a research among our client community, I think coding, cloud computing, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and big data analytics. These are top 5, right? This is where the world is moving strongly and more of. Are you keeping yourself on top of that? Are you continuously learning on those 5 skills? Do you are you so make sure in your during your career, during your education time, when you choose projects, when you choose your learning, when you choose your credits, you spend time on that. The other top 5 are virtual reality, user experience, blockchain. Blockchain is expected not from the fresher community, and RPA, the robotic process automation, is again is a second. However, do not leave the other non. If you are even today, sports and fitness is becoming a huge industry, is becoming almost like a $70 billion industry, where purely sports, fitness, and coaching. So if you're somebody who loves to stay fit, somebody who loves to run marathon, and somebody who loves to, there is enough course and material available for you to do that. So these are the technologies will have a better chances of a good job. This is something you would definitely, you are secure for next 5 to 7 years. The chance of getting a good job, the chance of getting a better way, the chance of an international career enhances by able to stick to this map. And if you can get this top 10 out of the 3 in your resume, in your learning, in your today's time, that would give you a huge positive uplift and in fact differentiation as in within you go into the job market. Next, ma'am. Okay, so as I talked about the international career, right? How and what they should do to look for an international career, right? It is extremely important for first and foremost is very, very simple is research. Are you doing enough research? to deal and work through it, right? Research is extremely key. Research. What do you want to do? Where do you want to be? How are you going to happen? Reach out to industry expert and ask for guidance. Today, there are enough seminars, enough podcasts, enough online session, free session, counseling session on how can you career in Australia, career in New Zealand, career in Dubai, career in Saudi Arabia, Americas, UK, Europe. Match the entry-level salary range of the job you're interested in. Understand the dynamics of money, and then look at the cost of living in that country. If you're going to get paid 7,000 dirhams in the UAE, is that okay for your cost of living, the lifestyle you expect to live? Understand the hiring cycle in that company, industry, and the country. The hiring cycle for Canada can be about 14 months. The hiring cycle for UAE is about 3 months. Coming to UAE and from here, making a jump to another European country is easier than making some time from within India. So if you're thinking international, you have to think, which are the, let's say, for example, there's a website called Gulf Talent. There's a company called Bayt, B-A-Y-T. There's a Naukri has a thing called Naukri Gulf that we should look at. Those could be the companies that would be, those are the website you could try. Examine the job description, goes without failure. Do you really want to move to international? A lot of time I have seen and hired people who want to and who desire to, who aspire to, but then within some time they realize there's a hardship. So research on the hardship of an international career. Get yourself region ready. What kind of certification works? So if you are a teacher, you want to be a teacher in UAE, understand that other than BEd, there's a certain specific courses. If you're in a hospital career, there's a certain certification which works here. Like here, you don't see so much of PMP, but you see a lot of prints for the certification. So that's important. And a positive attitude, speed bumps are normal. Don't give up. This is going to be always going to be road ahead for you to be tough. That's my sharp, crisp 20 minutes, as I promised to the ma'am that I would stay crisp and condensed, and I would leave next round for the questions from the students so that I can answer anything you would like me to, or anything specific I can answer. Over to you, Purnima.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we can take questions from the participants. I request you all to post your questions in chat box. Sir, our question, yes, there's a one question from Nehal Sughan. Apart from degree courses, what are apart from degree courses, what are some certifications so we instantly get placed?
Wow. Well, there's nothing called instant placement, but I think as I gave you those 5 skill sets, if you are doing any courses around those 5, whether you are within the digital technology world, the digital marketing side, cybersecurity, any of that would definitely give you an advantage over others in getting in more in the line. So definitely cloud is big. So certification within cloud will be helpful. If you are doing any course in AI and machine learning is good. Trust me, today, just some simple courses in coding. There's a general belief that even within the normal job scenario, even an accountant today, if you know the coding mindset, it gets you into a little bit of design thinking, and which helps in any career, any shape and form. That would help, and it would run. So yeah, that should be my 2 cents for you if you ask me for a very specific or a particular course.
Okay. So next question is how to develop leadership skills.
Oh, that's a great question. I think the leadership skill starts from your classroom. Do you take initiative? So when the teacher says, "Oh, we're doing this conference," do you volunteer, come forward and say, "Okay, ma'am, how can I help? What can we do? Can we reach out? Can you be part of the placement committee?" Um, in otherwise, also watch great amount of TED talks. You get some really good speakers. Simon Sinek is my all-time favorite. You listen to him, you get great tips of being a leader. Um, so yeah, leadership really. I think my leadership skill developed when I was a scout. When I was in Scouts and Guide, when people go to NCC, when people do society causes, when you go and work for Red Cross or do any cause work, it really helps you to be to build the leadership qualities in you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Next question is there place in it industry for someone who is not interested in coding?
Of course, I don't know how to code, but then yes, you're right. There is, you don't have to be a coder, but can you be a great digital marketer? Today, I'll give you one tip, right? You do Google SEO, SEM, PPC courses, okay? The amount of money marketer spends to get our advertisement on Google first, whenever we do the Google search, those ad comes in blue. The amount of bidding and the science goes behind to do that. These are some great courses, and immediately gets you into a job line. Every marketing agency, everybody wants people who are Google certified. And who can help marketing. So yeah, that's just one tip for you to, you don't have to be coder, but there are a variety of many things you could do. For me, digital marketing is my favorite, and I think the world is going to need more marketers and more who can understand and work through the system, Google pre-pads and Google post-pad ads.
The next question is, how do you know if a chatbot is right for your business?
Until you use it. And unfortunately, I think I would say, whenever we select, and we have one we call IDA, which is all our employees scan, is their ability to how fast they learn, because chatbots are never a perfect for every answer when we buy them. So they come with certain things, but at the same time, it is important that it learns. So if the chatbot learns faster, what kind of machine learning they have in the back end, we look at the history with the companies they have bought and used them, and then we take a decision.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for a wonderful session. You have explained students should focus on new skills for a new job. They need to understand the technology, use, monitor, and control. Students got to know about various technologies, give a better chance of a good job. You also guided the students for international career. The session was very interesting and informative. I'm sure that all the participants were completely engrossed in this session. Thank you once again for this enlightening and enriching experience.
No, Purnima, thank you. And it is a question I saw on the window screen. Somebody said, is the part-time job beneficial? I would say 100%. Guys, if you can job and study, every employer respects kids who have time to learn something and be on the job. So whether you can work in a petrol station, or whether you work in a supermarket, whether you're an IT engineer, it shows tremendously to an employer your discipline, your willingness, especially some of fortunate one who come from the business family. Your tagline that, oh, you have enough, you're not, but then when you show that I'm also working, and before you go any masters and anything, when you work in a job, nothing clears your head more of where you want to progress than an experience of work. So yes, that's a great question, and if you can get a job, a part-time job, you must go get it done. Sorry, I know there's going to be another speaker. You're already running behind the schedule, so I will let you go. I'm very happy to, whenever you want to speak to your students again and ask their hundreds of questions, because this is a topic we just, trust me, the questions won't stop coming. Happy to come, Madam Amina, whenever you want over some time, and then maybe talk to your students only on
Thank you so
jobs
much.
and the interviews.
I mean, it was such a wonderful presentation, small but concise. Absolutely. It had everything in it, you know. I mean, it had so much of information in those 4 slides of yours. I've never
thank
seen
you.
everything so well summed up in this much time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and you have a great conference for the next 2 days, and I hope the students learn and take the most of it, and I hope the students realize that it takes tremendous amount of effort from the organization to organizers like you and Purnima, Anandita, and everybody to get this. So you are lucky kids to have those organizers to get and think of your future and get somebody to get you a great panel. So make most of your day. Good luck, all the best, do well, and inshallah, I'll see you soon, everybody. Take care.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
We will have a lunch break of 15 minutes from here. Please join back for our next session.
A very good afternoon to all of you. I, Professor Ashwini Ankar, SRWC, welcome you back for the third session of ICAMT, workshop on Introduction to Artificial Neural Networks and its application in computer vision. Our expert for this today's session is Dr. Nilay Karade. Currently, Sir is working as Mentor IT at IT Academics Department of Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University, Pune. Sir has also worked as data science consultant at Rapt Technologies and like that. Sir has completed his doctorate in machine learning. His topic for PhD was implementation of hybrid evolutionary neural networks for recognition of handwritten noisy English word. Sir has over 12 years of diverse and international experience in teaching and software industry. Sir has an expertise in domain of data science, machine learning, web and mobile app development. Sir had presented several research papers related to his domain area. He has provided training to many prominent corporates such as Symbiosis Skill University Pune, Simply Learn, D Genesis Business School Johannesburg, Data Trend, Akira I Johannesburg, Solution Lab. Sir had developed many corporate level data and enterprise level projects. I'm sure the students will benefit from his expertise. Now, I hand over the session to Dr. Karale sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Extremely sorry for the delay as there was some technical issue at my end. I was not able to join the meeting. Some issue with the Linux system I was having. Anyways, I request Anindita ma'am to please share my PPT so that we can start with the session.
Just a minute, sir.
Yeah. I believe that my voice is loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So welcome you all to the workshop on Introduction to Artificial Neural Network and its application in computer vision. Before I start, I would like to give thanks to Chairman of RJ Group, Shri Sunilji Raisoni, and Principal of SRWC, Amina ma'am. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Ma'am, please go to the next slide. Please, next slide, please. Yeah. So let me start with the agenda for this workshop. First of all, I will start with the what is artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and data science. Why I'm going to focus on this particular section is because what I have observed, be it academics or industry, many beginners are using these terminologies interchangeably. So I think it is very important to, before we start with the artificial neural network, we must know the meaning of each and every terms and how they are related, what are the areas where they are overlapping, etc. So under this section, I will discuss about structured and unstructured data, machine learning, projects, various business use cases. Next slide, please, ma'am. After that, I will basically a mathematical model which has been inspired from the structure and functioning of human brain. So I will first explain you the biological neural network concept and how it was used to create artificial neuron and neural network. Simultaneously, I will also cover the mathematical theoretical aspect of neural network. Next slide, please, ma'am. Last but not the least, I mean, since it is a hands-on based workshop, right? So, I mean, if time permits, I would like to give you the explanation, or we will have a code walkthrough for image classification application. Uh, in the first application, we will focus on the image classification of from MNIST digit data set, where we have about 60,000 plus images of digits from 0 to 9. The second, if time permits, I will also explain you the image classification example on CFAR10 dataset, which, unlike MNIST digit dataset, consists of colored images having the size of 32 by 32 pixel, and again the image size is approximately 60,000. Next. And these are the tools that we are going to use. The application which I'm going to build is based on Python and some Python based libraries. So we will be using pandas, numpy, and matplotlib. As far as the development of artificial neural network is concerned, we will be using libraries like Keras and TensorFlow. In order to set up your system with all these packages, it may take maybe 1 or 2 hours. So to avoid that, what I'm going to do is that we are going to use a cloud-based solution which is called as Google Colab to develop this application. Next. So let's start with what is data science. Now, instead of giving you more formal definition, I would like to start with one example. I'm going to explain all these things with the help of examples. So, ma'am, please click on next. I mean, yeah. Let's say you are owner of one manufacturing plant. Okay, click this. And obviously, to manufacture uh, any particular Ashwini ma'am, if it is possible, I request you to please can you please take your profile picture at the top right, because there is some content in the bottom left corner, if it is possible. So obviously, to produce any particular goods, right, any particular product, you will need some raw material as well as some workers, right? Click. Let's say at the end of day, maybe you are producing 3 tons of that particular product. Click, please. Couple of clicks. And obviously, through some logistic arrangement, you will take the content, the products to the market. So this is how you sell. One more click, please. And maybe at the end of each month, you are earning about 2 million rupees. So this is your usual business process. Now let's consider 2 different scenarios. In scenario 1, as you can see, you have the usual amount of raw material and usual amount of workers, and the output is per day output is, let's say, 3 tons. One more click, please. Let's consider that for a particular month, or maybe for a particular quarter, there was a huge requirement of your products, but unfortunately you have a limited raw material and a limited number of employees. You cannot exceed your production capacity. So here you could have earned, let's say, 4 million rupees in that month or a quarter, but unfortunately you end up with having only revenue of 2 millions only. So in a way, you are in loss. Next is scenario 2. Here you have procured a large amount of raw material. You have also hired more number of employees to double your production. But unfortunately, again, in that particular month, there is not that much requirement in the product, in the market for your product. So in this case, you were again having losses, right? So in both the scene, you are not able to make most out of your business. So how to overcome this problem? Next slide, please, ma'am. So what you can do is you can hire a team which provides artificial intelligence based solutions. Now this team can consist of software engineers, data scientists, data analysis, machine learning engineer, etc. So what they will do first, they will ask you for some data. For example, maybe you have some billing application or some ERP application which takes care of, which keeps the record of sales data, inventory, logistic, etc. Right? So that sales data can be fetched. Next is survey data. Maybe you can hire some external agency which will do survey in the market, and they will ask questions to the customer that what kind of things they are looking in that particular product, right? Third kind of data could be, let's say your product is perishable under extreme weather condition. So there are some third party vendors who provide weather APIs from where you can download the uh, weather related information. Now, once this information is collected, the required data, any relevant data which is any data which is relevant to your business is collected. Next step is to perform the data analysis and data cleaning. Now, what exactly we do here? See, real life data is it is having lots of indiscrepancies within itself uh, due to various reasons. It could be due to human error, or maybe because of some software, some wrong calculations, etc. So hence it requires data cleaning. And then next is data analysis. So using some mathematical and statistical methods, we can do the data analysis to find out the relationship between various data or features available in our data set. Once the data is properly analyzed and cleaned, we can feed it to the machine learning model. So machine learning models are nothing but a mathematical model, and we will have a in detail discussion about them in the upcoming slides. So maybe this model is trained with the clean data, and through which we can now do the sales prediction. Now, since you have such a smart, advanced sales prediction system available at your end, now according to those sales prediction, you can manage your whole business. Now you can procure exact amount of raw material. Next slide, please. And exact amount of workers in your factory, and thereby you are going to produce approximately uh, same amount of product, which is the requirement in the market. So in this way, you can see that you have increased your revenue. So this whole process of extracting the data from its source, analyzing, cleaning it, building a model on the top of it for making any predictions, is nothing but a data science. So in a nutshell, data science is the study of the data, which involves all these operations, and these operations helps to create insights, and these insights help the businesses to make data driven decisions. So that is a data science in a nutshell. Next slide, ma'am. Next. Next. Yeah. Now let's discuss about what are the different categories of data that is involved in data science. So typically there are two types: structured and unstructured. What is structured data? The data can be arranged in the form of table, rows and columns, right? So maybe data from your Excel file or data from your database table is example of structured data. Next slide. Now what is unstructured data? In unstructured data, uh, next slide. In unstructured data, as you can see, any data which cannot be arranged in the form of structured data, that is in the form of rows and columns, is basically unstructured data. For example, text in your emails, your text files or Word file. Social media data, it could be either the likes or the comments or the posts that you are sharing. Uh, Other examples also include images, audio files, and video, etc. Right? So all these are different examples of unstructured data. We are going to develop artificial neural network to recognize the image data, which is yet another form of unstructured data. Now let's talk about machine learning. What is machine learning? Next slide, please. Before that, I would like to ask you one question. What is this symbol? I know you might be wondering what kind of ridiculous question is this, right? Please click twice, man. It is digit 2. Obvious, right? How do you know? Because since your childhood, I mean, maybe in your nursery, you were told that if you have a structure like this, a curved structure followed by a horizontal line, then what you get is a digit 2, right? So you have learned the pattern in that particular symbol. And not only that, you remember that pattern. So whenever a 2 is presented in a different style or in shape, you will be still able to recognize it. Now, since this PPT was designed in Linux, you sometimes you may find that things are misaligned, or the font is not as as it was expected. So please accept my apologies for the same. So actually, I had written two with different font style and size, but it is not appearing in Windows. Anyways, so scientists come up with an idea. Why not develop a machine which can learn the pattern in the data, remember that pattern, and whenever a new data is presented to it, it will, from its previous learning experience, it will be able to make the predictions. Now, when I'm saying machine, I'm talking about computer machine. Now, how this can be achieved? Well, it is achieved with the help of machine learning models. These models are nothing but mathematical models, and as we know, mathematics is all about numbers and equation, right? So how do these machine learning models work? For example, let's say we have the uh, housing data set like this one. Okay, so we in the first column we have size of the house, lot size, number of bedrooms, etc. And final column, last column contains price of the house. Please click couple of times. So in AI, or in terms of data science, the last column, that is price of the house, is called as dependent variable, whereas rest of the columns are called as independent variables, as the price depends on size of the house, number of bedrooms, etc. Now we will feed this data to ML model, and as I had mentioned, ML model is nothing but a mathematical model. One more click, please. So what it will do is, previous slide, please. Yeah, what it will do is, it will come up with some values v1, v2, v3, okay, and it will multiply these values with these respective columns, and will finally add all the outputs. So that will give you corresponding price of the house. I hope you are getting what I want to say. For example, size of house will get multiplied with v1, lot size will get multiplied with v2, number of bedrooms with v3, and number of bathrooms with value v4. And whatever is the product of all these four product values will be combined, sum up to price of the house. So that is how machine learning model learn the pattern in the data. Here it is learning the pattern in the form of values v1, v2, v3, v4, etc. Now this is just a hypothetical example. Different ML models have different equation. Next slide, please. Now what we will do, we will provide a new data, a data of new house to our ML model. Click, and from its previous learning experience, it will multiply, click, these values with v1, v2, v3, v4, and it will predict the price of the house. Understood? So this is how machine learning model works. Any doubt, any questions related to data science and machine learning? Fine. So I will move ahead now. Let me focus on the different types of machine learning. There are typically three categories: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. I will explain you their subtypes as well as their examples. Next slide. In the previous example of house price prediction through machine learning model, this problem falls under the category of supervised machine learning. Why? Because here we have independent pair of independent variables and their corresponding dependent variables. So the data is, this kind of data is provided to the ML model, uh, and it will we are training the model. We are telling the model that okay, if these are the inputs, then this is going to be the output. Understood? So a kind of supervision is there, right, to train the model. That's why the name supervised learning. And since here we are predicting the price of the house, so it falls under the category of regression. So anytime, any example which includes continuous value to be predicted, so that falls under the category of regression. Next slide. Another category of supervised learning is classification. So here is another data set which contains the messages and their corresponding label such as spam or ham. So what is spam message? Some unwanted promotional offer related messages are basically spam messages. Maybe you might have seen this in Gmail, right? In Gmail there is a folder called spam, and inside that you will have all those unwanted promotional messages. So what we can do is that we can present this data to our model will get trained on this data, and whenever a new message will come, our model will be in a position to predict if the message is spam or not, right? Now here our model is not predicting any numeric value, it is predicting the category, right? Hence this problem is called as classification problem. Understood? So these are the quite common categories of problem statement: regression problem and classification problem. So Gmail is basically using that such type of ML models when it classifies the incoming model into inbox or spam folder. Next slide. Unsupervised learning, as the name suggests, here you will not have the label column. So earlier we had uh, various configuration values related to house and its corresponding price, right? One more click, few more clicks. So here you will have just the data related to house, and you will present this data to the model, and model will come up with its own output. So for example, here in this case, it is observing that okay, these are houses with smaller dimension, maybe these are flats or apartments, then some other houses which are quite bigger, so maybe they are bungalow or big bungalows. So in this way, next slide. So in this way it is going to do the predictions on its own. So this is called as unsupervised, and here your model is basically creating the clusters of your data based on their values. Next, reinforcement learning is the last category of ML machine learning, and robotic automation is one of the example. Maybe on the assembly line you might have seen that there are some robotic arms which performs the welding, or it may move some object from here to there, right? So behind that is the reinforcement learning. Next slide. So we have got the understanding of data science and machine learning. Now let's see what is how it is related to uh, how all these things are related to each other. So first we have artificial intelligence. So as the name suggests, we are making the machines intelligent enough to make the decision on their own, right? So in this way, we can automate uh, high volume, repetitive, boring jobs, right? And AI is nowadays, it is, I mean, it is a booming sector. You can see that in each and every field, AI is being used, and it is estimated that this field is going to uh, have the market value of about $400 billion, and about 10 million jobs are going to generate in this particular sector. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. I have already explained you what is machine learning. Within machine learning, we have another AI stack, which is deep learning. So deep learning is basically it is based on artificial neural network. As I had discussed already, it is based on structure and functioning of the human brain. We will see uh, how it can be implemented in detail. And on the left hand side, what you see is the data science set, which is having overlapping with all these AI stacks, right? So you can see that data science is overlapping with all these AI stack. So any AI model is not going to have a better accuracy unless it is properly analyzed, pre-processed through the methods which are available in the data science. So I hope that now you have got an idea that how all these things are related to each other. Now let me talk about any life cycle of a previous slide, ma'am. The life cycle of data science project, or in general AI project life cycle. So here first we have the business understanding. Here you try to understand the business and the underlying data. Once you know all those things, um, you can then formulate the problem statement. According to problem statement, you will collect the data. Uh, Now data, maybe it might be available in your databases. So at that time, your DBA can help you to fetch the required data. Or if the data is quite huge, right? So you might have heard of term big data. So distributed cloud computing environment is used to store such a big data. So in that case, you may require a data engineer who will take care of this particular task. Once the data is fetched, next step is EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. I have already discussed कि उसमें क्या क्या data analysis और data cleaning methods use होते हैं. After that, we feed this to the data to the ML model. You will not be creating just one machine learning model. There will be n number of ML models to which this data will get feed, and the model will be trained. And in the next phase, we will evaluate the performance of each and every model. Whichever model is having the highest accuracy will be chosen for the production. Last step is model deployment. So where you can deploy the models? Well, there are n number of platforms. For example, as I had mentioned, Gmail uses uh, mail classification model, right? Which identifies if the mail is spam or not. Accordingly, it will send it to the particular folder. So what is Gmail? Gmail is basically a web application, right? So you can host your ML model in a web application. Nowadays, we have mobile apps which can recognize your face to, uh, I mean, using face image, get, they can be unlocked, right? So such face recognition system or such ML models are developed and they are deployed inside your mobile device or mobile application, integrated with mobile application. Third platform could be IoT devices. So I'm going to explain one such example in the upcoming slide, so you will have an idea that how these IoT devices, ML models on these IoT devices work. Now, quickly, I will explain you what are the factors behind the evolution of data science and machine learning or AI in general. Number one is huge amount of data generation. So it is not just the social media where hundreds of thousands of images, videos, uh, comments, or likes are being shared, but also in some business related domains such as e-commerce, finance, or healthcare, millions of transactions are happening on daily basis. Next, we have some devices which have uh, higher computing power. Next, and uh, the advancement in the field of research of algorithms, especially the deep learning algorithms, which works well with huge amount of data, complex data, and unstructured data. Next. Now, in this last section of the introduction to AI, ML, and data science, I'm going to discuss some of the business use cases. So, you will have an idea. See, whenever you learn anything new concept or new technology, you must understand what is that technology. So I have taken care of that thing. What is data science? What is ML? What is deep learning? Right? Now is the time to understand where it is used, why we should use it, because it is already used in a number of domains. Next slide. So maybe whenever you try to book any cab, okay, so you can see that you will always see that there are few cabs uh, nearby your area, right? So how it is possible? Because Uber have developed a forecasting system. Next slide, please. Maybe 1 hour before, they can predict in which block of the city what will be the demand for the cabs, right? So accordingly, that notification will be sent to the driver, and driver will reach that particular location in advance. That's why, next slide. That's why you are you will get cabs very easily in a short period of time. So, uh, in this case, both the riders are happy and the drivers are also happy, because riders don't have to wait for hours to get the cab, and drivers are happy because they are able to have more number of rides. Ultimately, that will help them to increase their revenue. And since both the stakeholders are happy, more and more people will join this platform, and ultimately the company revenue will grow. So this is how Uber is using data science, AI, ML to improve their business. Next. A recommendation system. This is something we experience on a daily basis. Let's say you want to purchase a mobile phone from some e-commerce application. So when you go to that particular web page, next, at the bottom of that product page, you will get some recommendations from the Amazon or Flipkart. So since I'm searching for a mobile device, it is showing me a recommendation for the mobile stand, earphone, mobile cover, etc. Next, or selfie stick. Now, you won't believe, because of such a recommendation system, Amazon, whatever revenue Amazon is having, about 35% of the revenue is coming from such recommendation system. A recommendation system is also heavily used in OTT platforms like Amazon Prime, Netflix, even YouTube also uses the similar thing. So based on what kind of shows and videos you are watching, you will get similar kind of recommendation. Next is speech recognition. You might have some smart speakers like Alexa or Google speaker, home speaker, smart speaker. which recognizes your voice command and accordingly perform the task. Next, language translator uh, provided by the Google, which can allow you to translate text from one language to another. Next, healthcare is one important area where AI is, I mean, AI can do lots of magic, I would say, and this will be quite good for developing countries where the healthcare infrastructure is not that good at the grassroots level, especially in the rural areas. So on the left hand side, what you see is the image of retinopathy. So people have developed some ML models. If you feed these images to the models, they can predict if the person is suffering from diabetes or not. So it can be used for the detection of several types of illness. So that is a typical example in healthcare. Next, computer vision or image processing. Now here AI can have, I mean, there are n number of applications. I just want to discuss here one of them, which is object detection. So let's say in a crowded traffic or at a particular junction, that camera, we may develop some artificial neural network which will detect the different objects in that video. For example, as you can see, it is detecting the person, bike, car, bus, etc. And in runtime, that information can be collected, and accordingly, we can do the better traffic management. Next, text analysis done by the social media. Now, you must be having your social account in Facebook, Instagram, or any other social app. So you write your bio, right? You also mention your areas of interest. On daily basis, you might be commenting on some post or sharing some post. So all this thing is all this information is in the form of text. So using some text analysis processes, these companies will come to know about your area of interest, and accordingly they will show you I mean ads which are relevant to your area of interest. So that's why you might have seen that whenever you talk with your friend, or if you do any Google search related to, maybe you are planning some trip, right? Maybe to Ghana Kesari or Tadoba Jungle, right? So the next moment in your social media app, you will get ads related to the hotels in the same area, right? So that is how it works. Next, in case of finance, companies are losing lots of money because of some fraud cases. So this kind of frauds can be we can detect through some through some ML models. Customer churn, loan approval, this kind of things are also taken care of by your AI system. Next, second last example, predictive maintenance. Now, in big companies, on the assembly line, they have huge, I mean, some large equipments, right, uh, to to produce the product, right? And if any of the component, suppose if it gets damaged, in that case, what will happen? The whole assembly line will come to a halt, right? No product will get produced, maybe for few hours or maybe for even days, unless a technician visit and repair that particular part. So in such case, what we can do is that we can install some IoT devices along with these equipments. They will measure some temperature, vibrations, or rotation learning models. So whenever this equipment is going to get damaged or break down, so to, prior to that, your model will predict in advance uh, that this product needs some maintenance. Otherwise, after these many days, damage. This device will get damaged. Next. Next slide, ma'am. Okay, there was issue with my network. Can you please go back? Yeah. Okay, this is the last example. After that, we will switch to the artificial neural network. So it is not just that this AI, data science, ML is used in social media or some enterprises. It has been already used in many pure sciences, that is biology, chemistry, physics related application, and even for some social science research also, which includes wildlife governance, education, etc. So that was all about AI, ML, data science, and deep learning. So if you have any doubts or questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we will start with the theoretical and theoretical aspect of artificial neural network, followed by its practical implementation with Python. Okay, fine. Let me take a break of 1 minute and I will start with the next topic. Okay, so let's start with our topic, that is biological neuron. I mean, basically, we are going to cover the artificial neural network. Ma'am, is it possible to give me the rights so that I can draw something on the PPT? So with my system, I had actually pen tab. I mean, I would have drawn some diagrams or something like that, so that okay, fine, no worries. So to understand artificial neural network, first we must understand the nature of its biological counterpart. So our brain consists of literally billions of cells. These brain cells are called as neurons. And here is a structure of a neuron. So you can see that from left side, there is a cell body, neuron cell body. At the center of neuron cell body, we have got a nucleus. This neuron cell body is having a tentacle-like structure called as dendrites. And through these dendrites, it is receiving the input from other neurons, as you can see. So maybe you can see the synapse, right? So synapse is nothing but a connection point. So synapse, through this synapse, this neuron is receiving the inputs from the another neuron. And what is this signal? This signal is in the form of electric pulse, and it will initiate some chemical reaction in the cell body. If that uh, releases sufficient amount of energy, then that electric signal will travel through this axon, and finally it is distributed among the other neurons which are connected to this neuron. So whenever we perform any task, it could be reading, it could be learning anything, or maybe driving or anything, right? So at that time, continuously such kind of uh, information is traveling, such kind of actions, reactions are taken place in your brain cells. Next slide, man. Actually, here I was about to draw a diagram of artificial neuron, but since I don't have the sufficient right to draw the diagram here, just a minute. I think I can request it. Please accept the request. Okay, I think I can draw now. Let's say this is your artificial neuron. Now, since I'm drawing it with my hands, uh, structures in the diagram may not be that much accurate. Please bear with it. So let's say here is your input x1, another input x2, xn, and this oval shape is nothing but your artificial neuron. And each of this input is having a corresponding weight W. Let's say W1, W2, and Wn. So what this neuron will do is, if you remember in the previous slide I had mentioned, that biological neuron receives the signals or input from some other neurons. So this x1, x2 are nothing but the inputs received by this particular neuron. And it will perform a multiplication of inputs with their corresponding weights, and finally it will perform their sum. So mathematically, I can write it like summation of xi into wi. Okay, so this calculation will take place inside your artificial neuron. Next, actually this thing happens inside a neuron, but since I'm not able to draw it with my bare hands, so we will pass it to some activation function, this value, and then this activation function will produce the final output, which is y. So these are some mathematical terms which are used. So let me use it. So finally, y is the output. Understood? So this is the structure of artificial neuron. Let me erase this diagram. I hope now you have understood how the mathematical neuron works. Let me erase it. Uh, Ma'am, please switch to the next slide. I think you will have to click on that annotation button one more time. So maybe that tool will go. Just press the right arrow key. Okay. Now let me talk about the difference between artificial versus biological neural network in terms of size, speed, and power consumption. This last point is not there, it is a mistake. So as far as the size of the biological neuron is concerned, it is estimated that there are about 100 billion neurons in our brain. And if we talk about the connections, right, the synapse which I had discussed, right, because through which the information flows in the form of electric signals, right? So there are about 100 trillion such connections through which the communication happens or the information flows. So because of such a massive amount of connections and neurons, we human being can do complex tasks. And whereas in case of artificial neural network, well, the initial developed neural network were having relatively very small size, but uh, but the as there has been advancement in the field of computer hardware, nowadays we are also able to develop artificial neural network having millions or billions of uh, neuron in it, right? As far as the power consumption is concerned, uh, about 20% of our body energy is used for the functioning of the brain. So even though this numbers sounds quite big, but it is roughly equivalent to the power which is required by uh, light bulb. Whereas in case of neural network, now if you have built if you have a complex data like images or videos, and maybe you are trying to build a quite huge neural network, then in that case the underlying architecture, maybe you have got GPUs, machine with a higher amount of RAM size, etc. Then in that case that computer machine may require 100 plus watts of energy. Ma'am, next slide please. Okay, fine. Ma'am, can you please open the code link which I had shared with you, the Google Colab link? You may stop sharing this particular PPT and let's open the Google Colab. Or what I will do, I will just share that link again with you through email. And please open it at your end. So I have shared the link with your official email ID as well as Gmail ID. Please check it at your end and try to open that particular code.
So just a minute. Yes, sir. A code is there.
Yeah, fine. You may start sharing your screen because
Okay. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Just a minute, sir.
yeah, fine. You have got access to it, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, that's great. So participants, if you search in Google Colab, it will open this kind of web page, and there will be one pop-up which says new notebook, right? So you will have to click on new notebook, and then you can type your code here inside this notebook. So instead of writing all code inside a .py file, that is a Python file, you can use such interactive Python notebook in most of the AI and data science or even neural network related application. We prefer this kind of IDE because it allows you to do the data analysis, and you can see some graphs and all that, right? So and one more advantage here is that you don't need to install any of the packages, right? Otherwise, to execute this kind of application, you will at least need 5 to 6 different frameworks or libraries, right? So so if you follow Python, when that is okay, but if you are new to the Python, so I would like to tell you that don't worry about the complexities in the code at the moment. Try to understand what exactly is the meaning of each and every statement that I have written, or the block of code that I have written, right? So in this first block, as you can see, I have written some import statement. So those who already know C language or Java language, so in the beginning of your code, you write hash include statement or import statement, right? To import those header files or some packages or classes. So in a similar way, here I have written import statement for TensorFlow and libraries like NumPy and Pandas and Matplotlib. So TensorFlow is a library which is used to create artificial neural network. Matplotlib library is used for drawing some graphs or plots. NumPy and Pandas are used for data analysis and data manipulation. In the next line, I have written keras.dataset.mnis.load data. So if you remember in the beginning of my presentation, I have shown you a slide where some images of handwritten digits were mentioned, right? So this is MNIS dataset. This dataset contains about in total 70,000 images of digits 0 to 9, and you can download it from internet. So through code also you can download, as I have written. This load data function will this particular line will download that data set. Now, when you download this data set, there are two things available in it. First is the image data and their corresponding labels. So wherever you see X variable, it could be Xtrain or Xtest. So these two variables will contain image data, and Ytrain and Ytest will contain the information that Xtrain by what type of image is there. Okay, I will explain you the meaning of this in a while. Ma'am, please scroll down a little bit. So in the next line, I have written length of Xtrain. So it will give me what is the dimension. Okay, just a minute. So as you can see, it is saying 60,000. So this Xtrain variable contains the 60,000 images. Now these images are stored in the form of two-dimensional NumPy array. Now, what is NumPy array? In Python, there is a library called NumPy array using which you can store the data in an array format, and there are lots of mathematical operations which are possible using this library. So it is one of the common way to store the data. So in Xtrain variable, we have 60,000 images. In Xtest, we have 10,000 images. Now, why do we have such separation, train and test in first place? So, dear participants, what happened in artificial intelligence is that whenever you have a data set, in this case, we have 70,000 images data, right? 70,000 images. So what we will do, we will use 60,000 images for the training of the model. I hope you remember what do you mean by what is the meaning of model training. So model comes with some mathematical values, some mathematical equation and some values to learn the pattern within them, right? To learn the pattern in the data. So we provide this trained data for the training of the model. Now, once the model is trained, we want to test it. We want to check how good is our model. So for that, we will use this test data set. So that is why this Xtrain and Xtest bifurcation is done. Okay, and you can see that Xtrain dot shape is giving you the dimension of that particular array. So it is a three-dimensional array. We have got 60,000 images, and each image is of the dimension of 28 by 28 pixels. Ma'am, please scroll a little bit. Yeah, थोड़ा ऊपर जाइएगा प्लीज. तो यहाँ पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ कि वो जो Xtrain, I had mentioned that Xtrain contains images, right? So I'm printing the first element from that array Xtrain, and as you can see, it is showing me two-dimensional arrays, right? Total अगर आप चेक करोगे तो 28 rows और 28 columns है. So earlier some of the values are 0 0. Please scroll a little bit, and then you will have numbers like 200, 49, 100 and something etc. ठीक है, तो ये basically आपका image का data है. Understood? So image is stored in the form of NumPy array. And since this is a grayscale image, तो यहाँ पे हर एक पिक्सल की जो इंटेंसिटी है, based on the intensity of that pixel, उसकी वैल्यू रेंज हो रही है from 0 to 255. अब मैं प्लीज स्क्रॉल कीजिएगा. Okay, and here by using matplotlib library, I'm trying to print that data which is there in the 0th element of my Xtrain array. So you can see that this first element contains the image of 5. So in this way you can see it. Please scroll down. ओके वाई ट्रेंड मैम जस्ट एक लाइन ऊपर का वाई ट्रेंड ऑफ जीरो सो एक्स ट्रेंड ऑफ जीरो में क्या था इमेज थी विच इज इमेज ऑफ 5 एंड वाई ट्रेंड ऑफ जीरो कंटेन्स द लेबल यानी कि वो इमेज कौन सी डिजिट की है that information is stored in the y train. So likewise x train will have some random 60,000 images, y train will have their corresponding labels कि हर एक इमेज में कौन सा डिजिट है likewise. Next, here I am showing some random images from the data set. Next, 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 next. अच्छा अभी यहाँ पे what we are doing here is that I hope you remember the diagram of neural network, right, from my slide. Ma'am, can you please open the slide and please press home button. And in the agenda, I have shown the diagram of one neural network. Can you please go? नहीं होम की प्रेस कीजिए मैम सबसे स्टार्टिंग वाला था शायद स्लाइड नंबर 3 या 4 होगा थोड़ा next yeah this diagram the previous one हाँ so this is how the neural network looks like. In neural network we have typically 3 layer input layer जहाँ पे कि आप input values pass करोगे. In our case our input will be nothing but image data, right? And finally you will have output layer where the prediction is being done by your neural network model. In between hidden and in between input and output layer you have hidden layer. अब इस hidden layer में you can have I mean it is not compulsory just to have a one layer, you can have one or more than one layer. Understood? And all the round symbols used in this diagram is nothing but one individual artificial neuron which I have explained you earlier, right? तो हर एक न्यूरॉन जो है I mean if we consider the first green color hidden neuron, it is receiving input from all the 3 input values. These 3 input values have weights associated with them w1 w2 w3. Let's consider these are the values. So for that first neuron, the summation which I had shown you, right? Summation of xi into wi, वो सब calculation यहाँ पर होंगे in the first neuron, green color neuron, and later we will feed that data to some activation function. There are n number of activation function, and in case of hidden layer we use activation function like tan h, sigmoid. The most commonly used is the ReLU function. Now because we have a limited time in this workshop, I won't be able to cover all those concepts here, but it is interesting. Now so in a nutshell, what is the use of this activation function? Well, activation function decides whether the output produced by a particular neuron is sufficient enough to to make the predictions. So whether to pass the output produced by a neuron to the next layer or not, right? So in a nutshell, that is the use of activation function. Fine. So what we are going to do in our program in the next step is we are going to construct such a neural network. Okay, we will create input layer. Input layer will be nothing but consist of your image itself, some hidden layer, and finally output layer. In output layer, we will have 10 neurons, each neuron for each of the digit. Okay, and in the output layer we will be using something called as softmax activation function. तो softmax function क्या करता है, whatever is the output, I mean ये थोड़ा probability के terms में output देता है. So highest value of probability is 1, right? So it will distribute that one value amongst all those 10 neurons. तो उसमें जो highest output रहेगा जिस neuron का, that will be the final prediction. ठीक है. Okay, and as far as the input part is concerned, now we have image. Each image is of the dimension 28 by 28. So we cannot pass a two-dimensional data here if you consider this architecture, right? तो हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, वो जो 28 by 28 का न्यूरॉन इमेज है, we will convert it into, we will convert that two-dimensional array into one-dimensional array. ठीक है, तो वो हम कैसे कर सकते हैं कि फर्स्ट रो ले लिया, उसके बाद में उसको अपेंड कर दिया सेकंड रो के साथ, थर्ड रो के साथ, एंड सो ऑन. सो two-dimensional array of the size of 28 by 28 can be converted into one-dimensional array of the size of 1 by 784. ठीक है, and that 784 pixel value will be given as an input to the neural network that we are going to construct. Okay, so here in the first layer, which is input layer, we will have 784 neurons. Understood? अब यहाँ पे होने क्या वाला है एक बताता हूँ. One more thing, ma'am, please accept my request. Please go to the previous slide. मैम प्लीज स्लाइड ओपन कीजिएगा फिर से. I just want to explain the how neural network get trained. हाँ PPT.
Okay.
जी
Okay.
जी.
Okay.
Just in a couple of minutes I will explain you that how neural network gets trained, and then I will switch to the coding part again.
So this one.
Previous one, ma'am. And also grant me permission to annotate this diagram.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So let's say here I'm going to pass image of digit 2. Okay, and as I had mentioned, I'm going to convert this array into one dimensional array of the size of 784. तो ये 784 pixels हर एक न्यूरॉन में चले जाएंगे, right? There will be 784 ये न्यूरॉन्स नहीं, बेसिकली पिक्सल के वैल्यूज है. ठीक है, so we will have 784 input to this neural network, and वो सब मल्टीप्लिकेशंस होंगे इस हिडन लेयर में, राइट, जो मैंने बताया था. And finally it will do some prediction. Let's say neural network have predicted that this is an image of 3, right? But we have the truth values, right? X train है हमारे पास and we have got Y train. So Y train बता रहा है कि नहीं, this is image of 2, this is not image of 3. ठीक है, so whatever prediction is done by our model, it is incorrect, right? So तो क्या होगा, so ये जो था हमारा इस डायरेक्शन में हमारा डेट कैलकुलेशंस हो रहा था, it is called as forward propagation, and at the end we have we are checking if or how accurate are the predictions. In this case, we can see that the accurate the prediction is not correct, right? So what will happen? There is something called as back propagation. So back propagation में क्या होगा? Whatever weights are there associated with each neuron, they will get updated so that whatever error is there, to minimize the error, right? Again, due to some limited time, I won't be able to explain you the details of the forward propagation and back propagation, how it works in neural network. But this is how your neural network gets trained, by updating the weight. And next time it will do the correct prediction that this is image 2. Next time you may feed another image, and this process will get repeated. So in short, this is how your neural network gets trained. Okay, now let me quickly erase this diagram. And we will switch to the coding part.
Anyway, I was there for you.
Any doubt, any questions? मैम प्लीज जो ये कर दीजिएगा, वो जो कोडिंग पार्ट है प्लीज उसे हाईलाइट कर दीजिए. Please scroll upward. More. Up. Okay. Okay, fine. So this was the image of fire, right? थोड़ा और ऊपर कीजिए, शायद कोड मिस हो गया है. और ऊपर. हाँ ठीक है, right. We are on the right track. Please नीचे जाइएगा. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to convert that 28 by 28 image into a one dimensional. Please go down. So yeah, just a moment. So can you see this code which says which is using reshape function? So in this reshape function I'm doing the same thing. कि वो जो 2 by 2 matrix था उसको convert किया है one dimensional array में, which will have size of 784 pixels. Okay, please scroll up, ma'am. I mean नीचे scroll कीजिए. Can you see the code where the model variable is declared? थोड़ा सा और ऊपर कीजिएगा. Yeah, model. Yeah. So here in this code, I'm creating my artificial neural network model. Okay. So for this, now I'm not going into the details of these libraries because we are running out of time. So here I have just created the object of model, and then I'm creating a layer, the hidden layer. Okay. And the variable name I have used is layer 1. And for this, I'm creating an object of class called dense. Now, how many neurons I want to put there? That can be decided by the first parameter. So I'm saying, let's put 10 neurons in this layer 1. So that's why the first parameter is 10. And since this is first hidden layer, right? You can, as I had mentioned, there can be one or more than one hidden layer. At present, I'm just putting one layer. So I have to mention that how many input values will be there. So each image has 784 pixels. So that's why the input shape is mentioned as 784. Okay. And then I'm adding this layer 1 in my model by writing the statement model.add layer 1. After that, model.compile is there. So there are some configurational settings that we are doing here, that how weight should be updated, what kind of how to calculate the loss and all that. So we will not go into the details of it as of now. And the model.fit function I'm calling here, and I'm saying that epochs is equals to 5, which means that forward and backward propagation jo hoga. So what will happen? All the 60,000 images are passed, right? One by one. Error is calculated, weights are updated in the backward direction, right? So this whole process for first set of 60,000 images is one epoch, first epoch. मैंने यहाँ पे epochs के value क्या mention की है? 5. So this model will get trained for 5 number of times for given set of 60,000 images, right? And as you can see in the output for the first epoch, okay, in the first epoch 1 of 5 likha hai, right? And if you go on the right hand side, you can see that for the first time accuracy was 0.87. So 87% of the images were correctly classified by your model. And as the number of epochs are increasing, हम कहते हैं ना, I mean for the exam, let's say you want to learn any particular topic, right? So you said that I have done revision for thrice, so I will be able to recall it properly, right? So like that. So ऐसा समझ लीजिए कि 5 बार उसने revision किया, and so it has been able to learn the pattern appropriately. And in the last epoch, you can see that as the number of epochs are increasing, the accuracy is also increasing. The final accuracy is 0.92. So you can change the different, you can try the different configurations of the model. Maybe we can increase epochs to 10, 100, or even 1000 in some cases, and that will eventually increase the accuracy. Ma'am, please scroll down. So here I'm just plotting plot of model accuracy versus model error. Please go down. Next, here I'm trying to add another layer in my neural network. So now I will have input layer, 2 hidden layer, and one output layer. Please scroll down. So you can see that the accuracy has been increased. In the first epoch only, I'm getting 0.92 accuracy. Please scroll down. And the last accuracy is 0.98, right? So from 0.92, my accuracy has been improved to 0.98, which is quite good accuracy, right? Please go down. Please go down further. There is a plot after this one. Yeah, this one. Fine. Maybe you can press Control and minus button twice, so that this whole heat map will fit into your screen. Okay. Now this is called as heat map, and here it is showing you that the predictions made by my model. हम थोड़ा सा ऊपर scroll कीजिए so that I can see the top line of yes. Okay. So on the top left corner, what you see is 0, right? On the y-axis you have values like 0, 1, 2, 3. Again on the x-axis you can see the same values 0, 1, 2, 3. On the y-axis you have the actual value of images, actual images, and on the x-axis you have the predicted predictions for images by our neural network model. So how you can read this one? So for example, top left corner where we have 0, right? So top left corner is 0, और अगर x axis पे first वाला जो देखोगे वो भी 0 है, right? So about 959 images were of 0, and according to your model, about 959 of them were predicted correctly. In the same row, if you go towards the right side, so you can see that about 12 images were of 0. उसका अगर x axis का value देखोगे, it is showing 6, right? So it means that there were 12 images of which were having 0 in the images, but your model have predicted them as a 6, right? So this is how you can read the data from this heat map, which basically contains क्या कहते हैं उसको confusion matrix. Okay, so in this way you can read the outcome of your data. जो हमारा आया था ना 0.98, that is equivalent of 98% accuracy, right? So सेम चीज हम यहाँ पे ब्रॉडर पिक्चर हमें मिल रही है कि कहाँ पे मॉडल से गलतियां हुई हैं. तो इट इज ऑब्वियस, राइट? 0 and 6 have a little bit of similar structure, right? I mean, if you write 6, अगर हम जल्दबाजी में लिखते हैं 6, right? So sometime उसका जो lower portion है, if it is quite big enough, then it will look like 6, right? Similarly 3 और 5 का आप देख सकते हो. ठीक है, अगर I mean if you check the 5 on y axis, ठीक है, और उसकी रो में अगर चेक करोगे 16 वैल्यू यू माइट बी एबल टू सी, राइट? सो उसका करस्पॉन्डिंग एक्स एक्सिस पे वैल्यू क्या है? 3. सो मॉडल so there were about 16 images of 5 which have been classified by your model or predicted by your model as 3. ठीक है, so यहाँ पे मॉडल से गलती है, but you can see that for 5 about 863 images were correctly classified. Understood? So this is how you can read where your model is going wrong and where it is making the correct predictions. Okay, it's 3:40 and I guess that my time is over. Sorry, due to some technical problem, I was not able to start on time, and maybe we have missed some. So I don't have enough time to explain some more technical parts of the neural network, but I hope you have got overall idea about how neural network works, how you can write the code about it, and as I had mentioned, don't worry about the complexity of the code. Once you learn some basics of Python, you can easily understand this code. It's not a big deal, and try to focus on what are the building blocks of the neural network, how to train the neural network, and so on. Finally, I would like to tell you that we have come to the end of this particular session. I would like to thank again Sunil Raisoni sir, ma'am, principal ma'am, Anandita ma'am, and other team members. I would like to also congratulate you for organizing and successfully running this conference. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful hands-on session. Your talk had enlightened us in terms of technical knowledge on ML and deep learning. Looking forward to more such cooperations with you, sir. Thank you once again. Over to you, Anandita ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Nile sir, for such a wonderful session. Here we are in the end of day 1 ICAMT 2021. Participants, I'm sharing the feedback link on your chat box. Please fill the form. Yes, here is the link. Participants, fill the form. Tomorrow we will start our session at 10 a.m. That's all for today. Thank you.